the spring and summer months of 1939, Nazi Germany. A number of planners begin to organize a secret killing operation targeting disabled children. From October 1939, public health authorities start to encourage parents of children with disabilities to admit their young children to one of a number of specially designated pediatric clinics throughout Germany and Austria. In reality, the clinics are children's killing wards where specially recruited medical staff murder their young charges by lethal overdoses of medication or by starvation. In April 1941, the Deaconess House in the German city of Lübtheen, which houses mentally handicapped children, is expropriated and forcibly evicted. The children are transferred to the Lewenberg Children's Ward in the city of Schwerin, where they are murdered as part of Nazi Germany's secret euthanasia program codenamed T4. The order comes from the regional Nazi party leader who 2 weeks later brags during a meeting saying, "I had the idiots put where they belonged." This Nazi official's name is Friedrich Hildebrandt. Friedrich Hildebrandt was born on the 19th of September 1898 in the village of Kiekindermark, then part of the German Empire, today part of the German town of Parchim. He was the son of Friedrich Johann Theodor Hildebrandt, a farm worker and stonemason, and his wife Bertha Anna Emma. When Friedrich was 4 years old, his parents divorced but later remarried. From 1905 to 1912, Hildebrandt attended elementary school. He then worked as a day laborer in agriculture for 2 years before finding work as a railroad assistant in the town of Wilsnack. Due to the outbreak of the First World War in 1914, he was not able to begin training to become an apprentice. On the 25th of November 1916, Hildebrandt enlisted as a volunteer in the German army and was deployed to the Western Front at the beginning of 1917. Within the first year of service, he was seriously injured by poison gas and a bullet to the stomach. For his service, he was awarded the Iron Cross First and Second Class and was hospitalized until November 1918. The same month, the war ended, and on the following month, Hildebrandt joined the newly founded German National People's Party, which was the major nationalist party in Weimar Germany before the rise of the Nazis. On the 13th of January 1919, Hildebrandt joined the Freikorps units that fought communist uprisings. In March 1920, he joined the security police in Halle and participated in the suppression of the Kapp-Putsch, a failed coup attempt by extreme right-wing factions who aimed to topple the Republican government in Germany and restore an authoritarian regime. In the wake of the uprising, Hildebrandt was tried for excessive brutality against captured members of a communist revolutionary movement named the Spartacus League. Even though numerous revolutionists died, Hildebrandt was acquitted in a trial, but in June 1920, 3 months after enlisting, he was dismissed from the service for verbal outbursts. Hildebrandt then worked as an agricultural worker. In September 1922, as a delegate, he attended the Görlitz Party Conference of the German National People's Party, but soon after, Hildebrandt was expelled due to internal disputes. On the 19th of October 1923, Hildebrandt married Elise Else Christine Kruger. The marriage produced 6 children. In 1924, Hildebrandt became a member of the German Völkisch Freedom Party, an early far-right political party of Weimar Germany. He was a member of the Mecklenburg-Schwerin State Parliament for party from 1924 to March 1925. On the 16th of February 1925, Hildebrandt personally met with Adolf Hitler, and on the 8th of May 1925, he officially joined the Nazi Party. Thus, Hildebrandt became the first Nazi Party member of the Mecklenburg-Schwerin State Parliament. In June of the same year, Hildebrandt not only founded a Nazi newspaper, the Niederdeutscher Beobachter, which he edited, but he also wrote the manuscript, The Solution to the Jewish Question. His writing was mainly concerned with the Mecklenburg landed gentry, whom he regarded as heavily Jewed. When the Nazi Party lost the elections on the 6th of June 1926, Hildebrandt lost his seat in the state parliament. From then on, he lacked regular financial support, which left him and his family in dire straits. He was only able to continue his party work thanks to the financial support of a few donors, and moved his family to Parchim. At his new place of residence, Hildebrandt worked as a town councillor from November 1927 to January 1930. He was a self-declared opponent of the Catholic Church, and even before he came to power, he said, "Once I am at the helm, I will make sure that within 2 years there will be no more Catholics in Mecklenburg." In the state parliamentary elections on the 5th of June 1932, he once again won a seat in the state parliament. Even though the Nazi Party became the largest party in the Reichstag for the first time, they failed to win a majority. After the Nazis came into power in January 1933, Hildebrandt retained his seat in the Reichstag until the end of the Second World War. On the 5th of December 1933, he joined the SS, and in January 1934, he was promoted to the rank of SS Gruppenführer, an equivalent to Major General. In the early summer of 1934, Hans Egon Engel, the Prime Minister of Gau Mecklenburg, which was one of administrative divisions of Nazi Germany, and Hans Heidemann, Colonel of the State Police, together with other party comrades, tried to overthrow Hildebrandt, who served as the Gauleiter, or the regional Nazi party leader, of Gau Mecklenburg. They wanted to force him out of office with the accusation that he was suffering from an incipient hereditary mental illness and could therefore no longer perform his duties. Their grounds were Hildebrandt's mother's stay in an institution and his daughter's mental developmental disorder. Hildebrandt survived this intrigue thanks to the assistance of the regional bishop, Walter Schulz, who personally intervened with the deputy Führer of the Nazi party, Rudolf Hess. In September 1935, Hildebrandt became a member of the Academy of German Law, headed by Hans Frank, without ever having completed a degree. During his time in office as Gauleiter, Hildebrandt enriched himself and took advantage of his social environment. He provided party members with cheap home loans and made building plots available in prime locations. In 1938, he acquired the 383-hectare Göslow estate near Lübtheen for an extremely low purchase price of 50,000 Reichsmarks. The Second World War began on the 1st of September 1939, when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. That same month, the Euthanasia program started, which was the systematic murder of institutionalized patients with disabilities in Germany. The program's functionaries called this clandestine murder program T4. Friedrich Hildebrandt was involved in T4, and in April 1941, he ordered the expropriation and forced eviction of the Deaconess House in Lübtheen, which housed mentally handicapped children. The children were then transferred to the Lewenberg Children's Ward in Schwerin, where they were later killed under the responsibility of the ward doctor Alfred Loy as part of the euthanasia measures. On the 15th of April 1941, Hildebrandt cynically bragged at a meeting, saying, "I had the idiots put where they belonged." On the 30th of January 1942, Hildebrandt was promoted to the rank of SS Obergruppenführer, which was an equivalent to Lieutenant General. In April 1942, he was appointed Commissioner of the General Plenipotentiary for Labor Deployment for his Gau Mecklenburg. In the winter of 1941 to 1942, several thousand Russian prisoners of war starved to death in the Gau Mecklenburg under Hildebrandt's leadership. In a letter to the Chancellery of the Nazi Party, he expressed his concern about the lack of manpower, but said that the problem could be avoided if enough Russians were brought in. During the meeting of the Reich Defense Committee on the 17th of March 1942, Hildebrandt said, "For the Führer and the cause of Adolf Hitler, I will pursue the law, even if it means walking over dead bodies." At the end of 1943, there were 152,148 forced laborers and prisoners of war in Gau Mecklenburg. From the 25th of September 1944, in his Gau, Hildebrandt led the German Volkssturm, a national militia staffed by conscripting males between the ages of 16 and 60 years who were not already serving in a military unit. On the 24th of February 1945, he met with Hitler for the last time in the bunker of the Reich Chancellery. Hitler had ordered the Gauleiters to come to him to proclaim the usual slogans of perseverance and the later use of miracle weapons. In the following 2 weeks, Hildebrandt appealed to the battalion and company leaders of the Mecklenburg Volkssturm to hold out. He expected unconditional will to resist and fanatical hatred. His son, Hubert, born in 1925, was killed in action near Danzig, today's Polish Gdansk, on the 14th of March 1945. On the 5th of April of the same year, he announced, "Wherever there is even the slightest hint of a relaxation of fighting morale, we will crack down with ruthless severity." A court-martial formed by Hildebrandt was set up to prosecute all offenses that endangered fighting strength and determination. However, he did not fight, and in the last weeks of the war, Hildebrandt mostly stayed in his underground command post. His last documented appearance in his function as Gauleiter was on the 25th of April at the meeting of the North German Gauleiters in the town of Plön. On the morning of the 1st of May 1945, Hildebrandt, together with his son and other confidants, went to Schwerin to secure and remove his private archives. The documents were taken from the city school, then packed in ammunition boxes and buried in a forest near the town of Haguenau and in a nearby gravel pit. Then, Hildebrandt fled Schwerin to escape the advancing American troops. However, he did not escape justice. After the war ended, Hildebrandt was arrested by British occupation authorities in the German village of Zismar on the 12th of May 1945 and interned in the Gardaland internment camp. On the 1st of April 1946, he was transferred to U.S. custody after being implicated in the issuing of orders to summarily execute downed Allied airmen between June and December 1944, a violation of the Hague regulations. For these crimes, he was tried at the Dachau trials, which were held within the compound of the former Dachau concentration camp. On the 31st of March 1947, the American military tribunal sentenced Friedrich Hildebrandt to death by hanging. Between 1946 and 1948, Soviet military occupation authorities repeatedly demanded Hildebrandt's extradition over his involvement in the Euthanasia murders in his former Gau, but all of these requests were rejected by the British and Americans. Before Friedrich Hildebrandt was executed, he begged for clemency, even though he had never showed an ounce of mercy with his victims. Hildebrandt and his wife submitted 2 petitions for clemency, and in his final statement, he claimed to be a victim, stating, "Captain, for 26 years I have been fighting against the Bolsheviks out of deep conviction as a Mecklenburg farmer. They have sentenced me to death, but American Marine soldiers delivered me from them. I am a victim, not of your courts, but of communist elements who made statements against me. Since my home is in the Russian zone, I was not able to get all the material for my defense. God protect my family and my 5 poor children." Both petitions were rejected, and his sentence was last confirmed on the 22nd of March 1948. When Friedrich Hildebrandt was hanged on the 5th of November 1948 in the Landsberg Prison in West Germany, he was 50 years old. Thanks for watching the World History Channel. Be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss our next episodes. We thank you, and we'll see you next time on the channel.